What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zora today, Z-O-R-A. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into you guys. Zora, looking at the Zora X page here, I don't see anything. So much is happening on the 10th. Yes, so much is happening. I don't see anything new or exciting on their updates. So that's fine. They're tuning in 20 hours ago. That's great. I think this is interesting. The rug ratio on Zora is a magnitude lower than on Pump Fund. Yes, all the assets on Zora are very undervalued, I think. That's probably why, where on Pump Fund, everything's overvalued. So, right, that's probably why. But I like this. I like Zora TV. I think it's pretty interesting. Just checking out Bellagis here. I want to see if there's anything that might be relevant to Zora as well. Anything worth talking about. I mean, Bellagis is definitely plugged in, and he's in the network. You guys know Bellagis is the founder of Zora, right? He's the Mac Daddy, Zora. This is his profile picture on Zora too, and the picture of his token, the Bellagis token. Let's cut the crap. Let's talk about the price action, okay? I'm going to say some things that a lot of people who like Zora really like. I'm going to say some things that a lot of people who like Zora probably don't like in this video as well. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button. Let's go. All right, here we are on this daily time frame. We're at about 9.7 cents, and I have a feeling that we're going to see Zora come back down, okay? And this is based right now. This is based in my experience as a technical analyst and just as a market participant in the crypto space over the past 3 bull cycles. Typically in these shakeout situations, whenever there's a shining light, right, like Zcash or Zora or whatever other crypto held up well, even pumped in the midst of that drop the other day on the 10th, typically those are the ones that they captivate people. So they sell their coins at a loss, they buy these coins at a high, and then the rest of the market moves up while these coins actually move down and consolidate more. They're not going to move down to lower lows. I think Zora's got a lot of growth to go. I think we're going to see new all-time highs, but I just wouldn't be surprised if, you know, we saw Bitcoin, we saw the rest of the markets get away from Zora. Zora started to be, instead of a top performer over the past few days, it starts to be an underperformer over the coming days. And that'll just really cause max pain, right? Because typically, and I don't know if this is by design or just coincidence, but typically the maximum amount of pain is almost always realized in situations like this, right? What would cause the max pain? So markets are dumping, people sell their coins for a low, and they buy Zora at its relative highs because it's the safe haven. Zora keeps pumping while the rest of the market's dumping, or while the rest of the market's figuring itself out. They feel smart for a second and safe, and then what happens? The rest of the market outshines Zora, and Zora starts to consolidate, creating even more pain, right? I've seen it before. It's happened to me before. It's just something that happens, and that doesn't mean Zora has to go down based off of that, right? We're going to look at the TA, we're going to look at the indicators and see what we can derive from there. But looking at the day so far, you know, with 10 hours and 7 minutes left, that's a pretty big wick. And we're at a point where we found resistance before. We're right at our all-time high zone. It makes sense we might find resistance here. If we look at the all-time high itself to the low, you ripped all the way up to the 786, 886. You typically do pull back to the 0.5 or 382 area, which in all fairness, you already did. But was this part of that crazy dump? No, it wasn't. So, yeah, I mean, you actually did already pull back there. Let's see. Let's look at the indicators. Let's see what they're telling us, okay? Because maybe we move down just a little bit. Maybe we're about to rally. I don't know. I don't want to derive an opinion before we get there. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame, okay? 1 hour time frame here. To me, if we're being honest, it looks like you're coming down a little bit, right? Lower lows, lower highs right here. You are in an overall uptrend, which is nice. You've kind of broken it. Kind of, right? Higher lows here. I'm not drawing the best line. Let's just see. I can't draw a straight line to save my life, you guys. Let's do this. Trend line here, coming up like that. You've kind of broken it, but I don't care. Oftentimes, actually, it's these diagonal lines like this. This is actually the best time to buy. I'm not feeling it right now, but we'll see. Looking at this here, you did move up higher with less volume, I will say, which is not necessarily encouraging. The RSI looks fine. You're actually at an area to bounce. So if you bounce here, if you do start moving up, if we do take a higher high from here, we get above like 11 cents, I think that would be very encouraging. If not, you likely will retrace. And that doesn't mean that we go lower than this low. That doesn't even mean that we go lower than this low. But that might mean that we go down to about something around 8 cents, maybe even just below 8 cents, 7.6, 7.9 cents, something in that area. Right below this low, right at this low, something in that area though. That would be my expectation. Just look at all the significance right here too at this low. Right at the golden ratio, first and foremost, right at the low, prior resistance here, prior support right there, prior support right there, prior support right there, prior resistance right there. We go back in time, let's just see. Any other significance? Kind of at a resistance point there. Pretty fair. Resistance zone here, kind of support right there. It's not the most respected area, but there is some significance there. So again, I like to use the word area. Maybe don't think of it as an exact line to bounce off of, but an area to bounce off of. Just above, just below, something like that, right? Right around 8 cents. Just above, just below. Does that make sense? Give a half cent, 8.5 cents, 7.5 cents. That should give you a broad enough area to go off of, I think. That would be my expectation right now, just looking at this. Unless you move up, unless you get above about, let's say 10.3 cents. You get above 10 point, let me raise that a little bit. Yeah, 10.3, 10 point, let's say 10.4. You get above 10.4 cents, then I'm wrong, and then you're moving higher. Okay, and that's fine. Stochastics are right at the same area that they bounced from before. Typically, you don't bounce here, though. Typically, you do continue to go lower, so I would think you do. The MACD is cross red, and it's a little bit more pronounced this time. And again, we had less volume here than we did this time here. Volume's decreasing as you're moving up. That's not a good look in itself, right? Going back to my idea that people are coming to this as a safe haven, where I'm thinking that the people that invested in this before the massive pump, they're probably thinking logically like, I bought this thing at the lows, logically, not based on emotion, but because I saw the opportunity here. My daughter's playing around. I saw the opportunity here. Now we're up here and everything is down. Everything's on sale. Everything saw a massive dump, but we're up. I see the opportunity here too. So maybe there's people who bought in here who are taking profits. The smart money are taking profits, and now they're looking to put it into other things. Perhaps they really like Zora, but because everything else is on a 30% discount or a 20% discount, they're getting into other things now, or at least taking some profits and moving it over there. So there might be some selling, some profit taking, especially at these areas. That's all I'm trying to say. The 4-hour RSI is a little bit condemning, I will say. 2 hours and 3 minutes left. Let's see if I'm wrong. But if this 4-hour time frame closes red or lower than here especially, I would think that we are going to go lower. Because typically when you get overbought like this, what you want to see is a higher low, which we did not get. And that's all right, the fact that we didn't get a higher low. We're right at an area where you'd like to bounce still. And we're in a pretty extreme environment, so we can give you a pass on that. But the fact that you look like you're rejecting the overbought zone, that's not something we can give you a pass on. Right? When you get overbought, you keep getting overbought. It's whenever you stop getting overbought and you start rejecting, that's whenever your downtrend starts to form. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here is I think that we're going to see this reset itself, maybe go down to the 40 or the 50, maybe go down to the oversold zone itself or even into the oversold zone. But I would think that there is some kind of a reset, in which case we do pull back, right? Do we go below this low? Maybe. Maybe we go below that low. Maybe we go below 6 cents again. I don't think we do, but it could happen. I do believe we go around 8 cents. I think that sounds right. Stochastics look like they want to come down, right? The last couple times we were up in this area and you came down, you went to the oversold zone, went down, relatively speaking, went down to the oversold zone, just above it, went down here. I would think that we probably do get to the oversold zone from here. The MACD is looking weak as well. Like look at how weak that is right there. It's not robust like it was back here. And the volume's just not in. It's dying off as we're moving higher. So I think it really does make sense. We're probably going to see Zora die off a little bit, and that's okay. It's not dying off. Again, I was telling you guys in the beginning of this video, I think I'm going to say some things people don't like. You wanted somebody to come on here and tell you, we're going to rally through the roof. Maybe we do. We'll go over that scenario too. Okay, we're about to get there. But right now, I think it's very possible that we go somewhere right around this low, something right around 8 cents maybe. I'm expecting something just below 8 cents. That's where I will buy more. If not, if it goes up, cool. We'll take what we have and be appreciative of it. By the way, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but the last Zora video I made, I want to say it was around here. I was talking about getting into Bellagis because I think Bellagis will outperform Zora. Zora, from its low on the 11th, has made a move that was 62% to the upside. Bellagis, in that same time, because Bellagis is the creator of Zora, the founder, and at the same time has moved up. Okay, 59%. So it hasn't moved up more than Zora yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. Again, my thoughts are here that we're going to see it move up more than Zora. We'll see. You know, from this low point here in August 22nd to the high, you saw a 13x. August 22nd to August 25th. In that same time, Zora saw a move that was like this from a low to a high. You saw a 58% move. So, right, we've seen this massive disparity happen before. I think right now Bellagis is probably just pumping off of the Zora pump, off the Zora hype. That's why it's moving up, and that's why it's very like in tandem with Zora's movements. But I think whenever it's time, Bellagis will outperform. I really do. This coin, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're invested in Zora, being at a $5.3 million market cap, I think this thing could genuinely see 100x or more from here. Absolutely, it could, and it'll probably see a lot more robust growth in a very short amount of time. We're like, if we just play this game, let's just play this game, and we're talking about Zora, but this is Bellagis. This is Zora, in my opinion. It's like the same thing, but just a better vehicle for wealth growth. 2272, because it's the creator token, the creator of the creator economy, Zora. You went right above the 2272 here. Your first day where you stopped is right at the golden ratio. So let's just run with the idea that you like to stop at the golden ratio or the 2272, somewhere in that zone, okay? Let's just run with that idea. High to low, golden ratio, 2272, where is that now? That's all the way up at 7 cents, all the way up at 7 cents to 30 cents, okay? So from this current price for Bellagis, the next target might be about a 13x, a very similar move to what you saw here, almost a 14x. Maybe crazy things, guys, really crazy things. And if you think that can't happen, it absolutely can happen. We could see a market cap that's over $100 million by the end of this next move. Maybe we stop somewhere in between at about a 13 to 17 cent price. And this could be by the end of October. It could be sometime in November, I don't know, but it'll probably be when Zora is making strides to new highs as well. Zora, talking about it going to new all-time highs now. I think what's going to happen, again, I want to say it clearly, I think we're going to consolidate here a little bit more, shake out the weak hands, and then we'll move up. Right, we'll probably consolidate. We'll get tight in this pattern, maybe into the end of this month. Then we'll move up. By that time, I'm expecting the rest of the market to move up. The rest of crypto is probably going to move up. Zora is going to take a back seat, and then whenever everybody loses their focus on Zora, that's whenever it'll take off. That's whenever it'll do its thing. And I would expect that we do see new all-time highs by the end of this month, if not sometime in November for sure. From a high to a low, the expectation there would be that we see something of about a 21 cent price to a 32 cent price, and you just see the difference, right? You see the difference, right? Imagine the golden ratio here, 32 cents. That's a 3x move. Bellagis, golden ratio, it's a 14x. 14x would put this thing at like a $60 million, $50 million market cap, somewhere around there, right? Am I right? I think I'm right. I'm going to go with that, with being right? Because 10x would be 50. Another 4x from there. Oh, so it'd be about 70 million, actually. 70 million. A little bit over $70 million. That's still very low. It's still very low for the first creator coin that's ever existed. The creator of the creator economy, Zora. Like, it, I don't know. Anyways, looking at this here, I would think that Zora not only goes to 32 cents, but beyond that. It's probably going to play off of this move. Like, if you think about it in terms, let's look at Tesla. I know I'm all over the place, but this will make a point. Let me make a point on this, okay? Let's look at Tesla. Let's look at Tesla all its life. Now, Tesla has gone from a $100 million company to a $1 billion company to a $1 trillion company, okay? It's seen all the styles. Do you notice here how just because it saw higher market caps here, that didn't hold it back from outperforming what it did here? Right? If you're getting it in your head that, oh, well, Zora was at a low market cap here, so it's not gonna perform as well. No. Tesla was at a low market cap here, so it's not gonna perform as well. No, it's not right. Tesla was at a low market cap here. People weren't certain of it. Now the certainty came in. People loaded up the truck. Supply got shocked, and that's why we ran up even harder, because people were aware of it more here than they were here. They should have been aware of it here. Little taste, loaded up the truck, and then boom, that awareness brought more growth. Zora, same kind of thought. People were aware of it, but nobody really cared. Nobody wanted to take the bet. I didn't. We were aware of it. We were talking about it down here. We thought it was interesting, but we didn't put any money in it. It was a low market cap coin. Now it's pumped. It's still a low market cap coin, and it's on everybody's radar. My thoughts are genuinely, going back to what we were just talking about with Tesla, perfect example, we're going to see a bigger move. We're going to see a bigger move. I think that's what's going to happen. Maybe it's not as fast, but overall, you know, that move would take us up to 75 cents and potentially by the end of November. If we go from low to high right there, the end of October. The end of October could take you all the way up to 75 cents. I mean, maybe not. We're not at that same pace now. But again, I would think that we see a 75 cent price or more by the end of this endeavor. This could be, you know, maybe end of November, end of the year stuff. I wouldn't be surprised in the least. What we're getting to is that Zora could see a 75 cent price to $1.17 price by the end of December of this year. If not there, then higher. I doubt we stop anywhere less than 75 cents by the end of this year. And the reality is, We could hit 75 cents by the end of October or even sometime in November. We really could. And at which case then perhaps we're worth multiple dollars by the end of the year. Maybe we see a 20x by the end of the year. I am expecting Zora from its current price. We look at it here. Here's the things that people do like to hear. Is that we're at a $433 million market cap. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if Zora saw 100x. Right? Current price of 9.6 cents. That's a almost $10 price by the end of the cycle. We really could, by the end of the cycle, see a 100x. I don't know if I said end of year whenever I was saying this. I meant 100x by the end of the cycle. I didn't say end of. If I said end of year, I meant end of cycle. End of cycle will be Q2 of 2026. That's my expectations. And could we do higher than that? Could we go all the way up to $15? Sure, but $10 is going to be nice psychological resistance. I wouldn't be surprised if we stopped there. Anyways, very bullish on Zora in the long term, and it really that's not even long term, right? Q2 of 2026. That's not that long from now. It's like the midterm, the short term, I suppose even. Daily RSI looks great. It really does look great, but you're overbought. You might be doing exactly what you did here on the 4-hour, which is you got overbought, now you're rejecting. If today closes here or lower, and then tomorrow closes red, you'll be rejecting the overbought zone. And again, that might call for a little bit of a reset. A reset doesn't mean all the way down here, right? It doesn't mean that. It just means maybe we consolidate a little bit, let the RSI cool off, come back down to the 50, and then we rally. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Stochastics actually look good, if we're being honest. The stochastics do look good here. They would call for continuation, but sometimes you get wackadoo stuff that happens around this 50 area. You're about to cross above the 0. There's a lot of positive things going on with your indicators, and I think that if not by the end of this week, then sometime next week, Zora should be onwards and upwards to new relevant highs and all that stuff. So I don't have anything else to say. I think I've said it all. I really think I've said it all. I hope I've given you guys something to digest with Bellagis here, because I really do think that if you like Zora, you should invest in Bellagis. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, do whatever you want, but whatever this thing's potential is, if this has 100x potential, I would say this thing has 200x potential. You know what I mean? Like I think it's going to be a magnitude higher, and we'll see it happen. They're good to play off each other. I think right now, again, we're seeing Zora. You'll notice that Zora's pump and Bellagis pump, they're like the same. Bellagis is a little bit lesser than Zora right now, but I think whenever things really start to take off, we're going to see Bellagis take off more, but time will tell. Anyways, I'm invested in both. I actually have more Bellagis than I do Zora, and I'm thinking about, every time I think about buying Zora, I'm like, maybe I should just buy more Bellagis, because it's at a much bigger discount, right? We look at the all-time high here to the current price, you're down 73%. You're not down 73% from this all-time high. You're down still a good bit, 35%. It's still a big discount. And by the way, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Don't let me talk you out of buying it, right? If you're looking to buy Zora, buy it here, whatever. Let it go down. Let it come back up. Who cares? Don't let me stop you from buying it. But just be smart. Just be smart. And what do I mean by being smart? I don't mean buy the absolute low. Buy here, whatever. Don't be smart about that. That's okay. But be smart in the sense of don't panic sell. Don't panic sell if it goes lower. Okay, accept that you're buying something at a high point. Think about it logically. Oh, I bought it at a high point, so I might see some volatility. Maybe I should buy more in that volatility. And then when the price comes back, I'll be even more wealthy than I originally thought. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. I hope you all have a good day, a good time. Bye-bye.